Hey Sagittarius, welcome to Divine Duality Tarot. My name is TJ. It is July and I have a romance reading for you. What I like to do is a pretty simple spread. Get your energy, get their energy, and then get the point of interest to get a good idea of what's going on in this romantic life at this time. That way you have a little bit of a forewarning as to what's going on rather than no warning at all. I always like going into things prepared. Sometimes we know something's up or just want to get a good idea of where things stand. I'm going to try my best to do that for you, Sagittarius. Excuse me. So, first thing I do is I draw 3 for your energy, Sagittarius. Oop. Whew. Then, let's get some for your interest. Then let's get the mutual, more or less, what is the issue right now? What is the underlying dynamic between the two of you? Excuse me, man, I do that all the time. I don't know what it is. All right. Apparently it's my lungs trying to scream for attention too. So Sagittarius, I'm gonna start with you. You have the Empress. The Empress is the divine feminine figure. It is openness, it's love, it's emotion, it's the ability to carry love and emotion in a positive way and radiates it as well. This is warmth, this is comfort. The Emperor, on the other hand, is cold but stable. So it's like you have two very vastly different things. And in this case, the energy that you have is that of warmth, is that of acceptance. You're the one with your arms open wide, you know, and I'm okay. I can bring it in. But then you have the Tower, which is it is a major upset in the status quo. This is, as my wife would say, having the rug pulled out from under you. Drastic change, unforeseen. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. Then you have the Fool on top of that. The Fool is new beginnings. It's taking a leap of faith, a new chance. What this is kind of making me wonder is after I take a drink of water. A good chance for you to take a drink too. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Working full time, I don't always have the most ample opportunity to get this messaging out to you, so I do it when I can do it. Anyway, my apologies, Sagittarius. What I'm getting here is that something big has just happened. That something big has forced you to dive into something new head first. It has forced you into a new state, a new situation. And what I'm really thinking that this is an unexpected love. That love can be in the form of anything from as simple as a new pet, you know, a new wonderful thing brought into the home, all the way to a marriage, which is a huge ordeal, and to the ultimate love, which is a new child being brought into the equation, be it through conception, be it through adoption, however it may occur. Welcoming a new life into your household, into your life in general, is a huge, huge thing. And even if you think you're prepared, you will never be fully prepared. I promise you this. You will never be fully prepared until they graduate. Then you're ready. So what we have here, though, is a lot of strength, but a lot of unknowns in your life. Sagittarius, this is one of those moments where you have to understand that the future is clouded right now. Truly is. But, and your destiny right now may feel preset because this situation that has just occurred, this massive change, you don't have any other choice but to go forward into the unknown. That's it. The door has been opened and you are being shoved out of it. Probably has you feeling a little trapped, huh? But as long as you have a place to move forward to, you are never fully trapped. You are moving. You are moving forward. So let's see what's going on with your interest here. Excuse me. They have the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is harmony. It's opening up. This person is finally getting to a point emotionally, Sagittarius, where they can be more of an open partner to you, an open person to accept new ideas, accept values, accept just being more in balance. And then you have Judgment. Well, they have Judgment, which is the ability to accept failure, let go of the past. And then the King of Cups, which is stability and understanding. So far, all of this has sounded like you're having a big upset, a big new change. It can also be a life being taken away as well. I don't like mentioning that because it's a negative thing, but when you have warmth, when you have love, the ability to accept love, sometimes when people pass away, and I hope I wish the best for everybody, I truly do. But if this was somebody being taken away in the family as well, somebody taken away, a friend or, a pet or anything of that sort, be it taken or given, it is a drastic big change. And it can really, really be a downer, especially when you have new choices to make. But this person seems to be as stable as they can get. They have accepted the past for what it is. This is somebody who has been able to move on from the pain, from the surprise. This is somebody who may come off as being a little too excited, or somebody who may come off as they don't seem like they're taking things as seriously as they should because they have already accepted and moved on. This is that person that could always be telling you, it'll all be okay. We don't always want to hear it's going to be okay. I mean, we know eventually it will be okay, but right now, that's not what we want to hear. And right now, that's not what you want to hear. You know ultimately that your path forward is forward. But having somebody just tell you repeatedly, it'll be okay, or just not address it at all it's frustrating. Very frustrating. So, the point of contention, the point where you're conjoined is the Three of Cups, which is celebration, which is rejoicing in emotion. Then you have the Eight of Swords, which is feeling trapped, which is feeling restricted. You remember me mentioning that earlier, feeling trapped and restricted. And then you have the Two of Wands, which is planning for the future. It's looking forward, getting the willpower to make the next step. So, being happy about this big change because the change has happened. Seems like it's pretty prolific right now. And if it is the negative change, if it is somebody who has passed away, sometimes happiness can come from that if that person was suffering. It's finally over. The pain is finally done. So finding happiness in that, or if it's bringing a new life into it, it's the happiness of something is better, something is growing, it's getting better, it's a new day, it's a new thing to be happy about. But don't quite know where to go from there. Trapped by this new situation, not knowing exactly what steps to take, but having the willpower to take them. It's a story of reluctance. It's a story of two people that aren't quite in sync, but they are good people. And a drastic change has just happened, which is really showing those differences. It's when the most extreme things happen, do you really test your mettle against the other person and really discover what are their strengths, what are their weaknesses. And this is a time for you to learn what your strengths and your weaknesses are. You've had a massive upset. You truly have. It is new. It has the possibility to be wonderful, but you just don't know because it is such a new thing. It has forced you. If it was something that you've dealt with before, then the Fool wouldn't be prolific. The Fool wouldn't even be showing. It would be the ending of a truth and the beginning of a new one. You would have got like the 10 Swords or something, but this is truly beyond what you are ready for. And that's fair. That's 100% fair. Don't ever beat yourself up because if somebody else, if they're already moved past it, they've already accepted the situation and you haven't. Sagittarius, you're your own person. You are your own individual. You are unique. There are no other yous. How you respond to this is different than other people. And with this being outside your control, not knowing how to even respond is probably the biggest thing weighing on you right now. So, you're going to have a whole bunch of people telling you it's going to be okay. You'll probably have people telling you, I'm sorry for this or I'm happy for that. Just a whole bunch of, platitudes and whatever people could say to more so make them feel themselves better about trying to make you feel better. I'm going to ask a question that is going to be similar, but is more so for you. That question is, what can Sagittarius do to move forward? What is the best steps for Sagittarius to take for themselves? If you read tarot, one thing I could recommend, if you don't already, you could be experienced and already do this all the time, but one thing I could recommend, especially if you're new to it, always have a second deck handy and use it for clarification. I use the one to ask the big questions. I use the other to ask the very detailed questions. Sometimes when you're reading, something will seem a little vague. It can happen depending on how you ask your questions. Excuse me. And if it comes out, it's out for a reason. But if you don't quite understand what it means, it's nice to have something to clarify and really get the nitty-gritty. I also like to use a second deck for asking those additional questions, such as, what can you do? Sagittarius, my apologies. Had somebody arrive at my home, so I had to pause for a moment. Okay, anyway. So the question was, what can you do? What can you do for you? You got that Eight of Swords, which is feeling trapped, which is feeling restricted. Then you have this Seven of Swords, which is deception. It is telling yourself a truth that is not true. And then you have the Page of Swords, which is enthusiasm and eagerness. This is telling you, don't rush to conclusions. Don't rush toward answers that make you just feel comfortable, because all you're going to do is create false comfort. You'll put yourself in a situation where when things hit you again, you're going to be blindsided again, and you don't want to be in that situation twice. So I'm going to ask one more question. I can't just leave it, I just can't leave it at that. So that's what you should do, is not rush to conclusions. I always have another question I want to ask. How about this one? What should you do about them? What should Sagittarius do about their partner? So we know that Sagittarius, for themselves, don't rush Okay. So sometimes when you're drawing, especially if you draw, there's multiple different ways that people do it. Normally I do it in threes, but every once in a while you get that feeling, because we all have intuition. You get that feeling that there's more to it. And five is what happened. Ten of Wands, burden, emotional burden of willpower, being overwhelmed. Five of Cups, which is grief, emotional disappointment. Those two alone are telling you these are kind of the don't feel these things. If you rely on them, you will feel burdened, because you already feel burdened. They're not going to help alleviate that burden. It will more so cause grief. It will more so cause depression, and it may pull them down. The Three of Wands, which is expansion and growth. Get away from the grief. Move toward the future. Don't think about what could have been or what might be if. Only think of, this is what I have. What do I do with it? Then you have the Ace of Wands, which is inspiration and creativity. Once you get the what ifs or the could have beens out of your mind, you use your creativity, you use your inspiration. What is going to happen? What are you going to do going forward? What is the future going to be that you are going to make happen? You can't rely on anybody else. Four of Swords is saying that. Self-care, finding your own truth. This is one of those moments that you have to find resolve. Don't beat yourself up about it. Don't lie to yourself. Don't tell yourself. Don't put yourself in this mentality where things are going to be bad. Get rid of all of that. Clear your mind of that. Get it out of your mind. Just take a deep breath. Just deep breath. Close your eyes and just exhale. And open your eyes and think. What has happened has already happened. There's no changing that. It's done. It's a done deal. You're stuck with the now. And you don't know what is going to happen in the future. And that's full of what ifs. But what you do have control over is how you act toward a goal that you want to achieve. Things can always happen that step in the way. Could always happen. You could say right now, I am going to go to the grocery store. You go outside and your vehicle doesn't start. Or you get to the grocery store and they're out of everything that you want. It can happen. And you have to understand that. Bad things can happen, whether you want them to or not. But living in the mindset of, I don't know what to do because of bad things, is no way to live. You have to put aside the crap mindset. And Sagittarius, be the powerhouse that you were born to be. Own this. Own this situation and make things better. Because you can. And this person, at least for this situation, you can be thankful that they're not going to be standing in your way. At least not in any meaningful, deep down way. They may throw their opinions in. They may try to give you soft comfort. It'll all be all right. Take care of yourself. And like I said, move toward the future. Make the right steps toward the future. All right, Sagittarius? You can do it. You truly can. Don't give up on yourself. Even if everybody else does, don't give up on yourself. All right? So, Sagittarius, I'd like to thank those of you who are subscribers. I really appreciate that. Returning viewers, if you're a subscriber or not, thank you so much for coming back to hear what I have to say. And if it's your first time here, I really hope you enjoyed. I hope this helps you to make better choices. I truly do hope it helps you. So, Sagittarius, with that, I will catch you next time.